Happy Sunday, Mr. California World Series fellow citizen.
Unbelievable, huh? Unbelievable.
Looks
Did
great,
you
huh?
did you watch did you watch the final game?
Just highlights. But the kids in my class are a couple of them are really into it. One went to a game this week, so
It was
earlier. Hmm.
just the greatest World Series game, but no,
Good.
I mean,
Was it
obviously the
awesome?
outcome went the right way, but it was also just one heck of a game. Shout out to Toronto. Sorry, you're not supposed to say the second T.
Toronto.
I'm
Uh-oh,
from
51 was sad. He
I'm,
was
I'm, I'm
sad.
from Chicago, Toronto. And we're gonna probably get some people mad out there that I think most of the countries, whatever, man.
Hey,
It's
you know what? California could use a win of something. So,
it
yay.
was heroic.
Yeah.
Heidi, before we
Yeah. Yes.
a
Dun-
one, a two, 1, 2, 3,
whoop. Hey,
boom.
that was pretty
Heidi,
aligned this time.
you probably know this, but like, do you know what like tomorrow is?
It's our anniversary. Yay!
25
25
years.
years. Silver plume.
let the audience know what we're talking about, Heidi.
Oh, man, I should pull out some pictures. So, yeah, 25 years ago, Lawrence and I and our buddy T, hi T, shout out T Hayes, got a way too big size U-Haul because we barely filled a quarter of it. And my little silver plume, my little Saturn, we drove from Chicago to LA. We started our journey on the 3rd, right? Or did we
On the
land on the 3rd?
third,
No, we left the 3rd.
on the third, and the story behind the oversized truck is pretty funny because
Yeah.
I booked
Scully
a
Pop.
17-foot U-Haul, I want to say.
Uh-huh.
Showed up in the morning, and they messed up everything at the place. They didn't have a 17-foot truck. They had a 31-foot Ryder truck. And I was surprised that they were willing to let me drive across the country. I can't believe I didn't need like a CDL for. This thing was huge.
Yes.
Huge.
It was scary to drive too, right? Like at
Well,
high speed.
it was interesting to drive, and we had to stop at way stations and Polo, and like that was a thing, man.
We were determined though. We were absolutely determined.
And some of the backstory on it was like when we had left because there was election going on.
Oh yeah.
And and so along the way, I remember we were taking the northern route, and it was announced that like Al Gore won, and then it switched over. I mean, it's sort of interesting to think of like how much has changed in the world since then. My God,
man, that was a lot. So yeah, that was.
I mean, Bill
2000.
Clinton,
Mhm.
Bill Clinton was president when we got into
That's
our
so
vehicles to
crazy.
head to, I mean,
Well, anytime I remember I wanted to drive by myself, some of the time I was usually puffing, so I don't remember very much.
oh boy,
We'll talk about that.
this is awesome. We're already on our way to a great show here.
Yes, do we have that in the lineup today? Oh, 50. Oh, by the way, LA hot, wear it proudly. Or hat, wear it proudly. My Red Sox hat, I know. Well, hey, we're also land of Chicago, so it was North Side versus South Side, Cubbies versus White Sox. We had there's always some rivalry somewhere.
It was, it was the best. It was the best. I think it was the best World Series since 2016.
Oh, nice.
The game, seven games, and
yeah,
all sorts of crazy stuff happening.
Well, so good endorphins there. So you had some good endorphins pumping and feeling good. So that
for sure, which I needed. It's been a tough week. So
okay, yeah,
same. Yeah.
Holy smoke, same. Absolutely. Yeah. Stress was taking over, and things out of my control, were taking over, and it was a lot of boundaries this week were put up. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, like family things that don't belong on the show.
I gotcha. But just enough stuff taking over, right? You're not just focused on health and work and play. It's
always a thing to simplify. That sounds just like whatever advice, but it's useful advice to simplify and just check in with what you can control.
Yeah.
What's in your ability to control. And I've said this before when we've talked about baseball, and I use it as a metaphor for life. It's like, you can do everything right in a baseball game and lose.
Mhm.
Anybody that watched these games, but there's this kind of like anything can happen possibility too. You could be down and out in the last minute, and a home run happens, and that's like your life. Like things can kind of be, you can be eating shit sandwiches every day, and then filet mignon shows up at your
Yes, you're right. Yep.
so possibility, staying in that place of simplicity and possibility is really, really important
Yeah.
when things are just on fire around you.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, yes. Thank you for the
Sorry about the
reminder.
cough. I've got like a
Oh, it's all good.
thing.
Oh boy. Ugh, fun stuff. Oh, let's get into it. Healthy stuff. What are you
Yeah,
doing for your thing? Is it cough? It's just straight up cough. You got the
it
pineapple
is.
going, or what are you doing?
It is and it's something unusual for me, and it's I drink a lot of caffeine. It's my
Is that
one vice.
caffeine now?
Pick your poison. It
At
happens
this
to be.
time?
It
You're
happens to be.
okay.
I was up late. It's a GERD cough,
A GERD?
a little like a acid reflux cough.
Oh.
I should probably talk to somebody that knows about it. Yeah,
Oh,
but that's
no
what I'm dealing with. But
way.
I'm fixing it
Okay.
up.
All
This
right.
isn't the best way to fix it at all, by the way.
Hey, we're showing our human.
You got to be vulnerable and you got to be
Silly pop.
human. But that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Holy smokes. Yeah, the coughs and things. Trying to get all my little witchy brew concoctions together. The onions and the onions and the honey and the garlic and the honey, like the little jar, like storing it up.
I got
Um,
some throat coat tea coming.
Yurko
Throat
tea.
coat's got slippery elm. Really, really a big fan of that for any kind of
Mm-hmm.
throat irritation.
Mm-hmm.
Aloe vera is really great. So those things are coming in,
Okay.
and that's kind of what I go to. Other than that, actually, it's time for me to take my magnesium.
Hey, I gotta add it
Speaking
to
of
our
for stress,
Ooh,
magnesium key.
magnesium for
Your
sure. But
body chews through magnesium like you wouldn't believe.
I get that more so for my little man. He's got such growing pains and struggling with his sleep. So we're just upped his magnesium a little bit with the spray, like the little spray on
How
his
old is he
muscles
now?
at night. 12, but he's like 5'9" already. He's growing.
If
He's
he if like this
stretching.
is like a crazy time, like it's so like from like 12 to in these next 2-3 years,
Oh yeah,
he'll
voices
probably
change.
if he's
Yeah.
that high, he's probably going to hit 6 feet.
Oh yeah,
But
easy.
like by 14 or 15 years old.
I'll be like, carry me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I wanted to ask you? Because of the time and what happened last night, we got that little time change thing going on.
Yeah.
Do you have any insight of like what the heck that does to our bodies? Like, how can we nurture ourselves? Scully pop, scully
Yeah.
pop. Love it. Thank you.
I mean, it definitely does throw off, the body clocks. You read those stories about, increases in accidents. Like what is it? Fell back, right?
Uh-huh.
So what is it? 509 right now as I say this. It would normally be 609. If you're waking up tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, it would really be 8 o'clock. It's interesting because I don't necessarily think that you need any like particular strategy. Just be aware of that. Like just be kind of aware of like just check in on like the amount of sleep. I mean, a lot of people have like sleep trackers. I'm wearing one now to monitor things. Yeah, but it is definitely like if the time change is affecting how much you sleep and all that. I mean, it's just going to take an adjustment. There's not much you can do. Because it's a little different than when you're traveling and you're going to a new time zone for a temporary time, but like this is just the new time and it's going to be the new time and you just have to transition. They're
Mhm.
supposed to get rid of this,
That's what I
but
thought.
they
Yeah.
haven't.
Yeah.
I think Arizona, if
Yeah. They're
anybody
the
out
only
there is
ones
in,
that don't
they
have
don't
it.
do it,
Yeah.
right? Which
Yeah.
is sort of the time is the time,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which is interesting for right now because family in Arizona. I always have to remember like, oh wait, what time is they don't change the time. So it's actually 6 there. Yeah, I mean, but I do think we lose daylight, and so the other aspect of this particular time change, the one that happens, in the fall, the seasonal affective stuff. So
Mhm.
getting, kind of being aware of that, how much that does affect you. Like it does affect me. I have a full spectrum light bulb.
Oh, you do?
So,
Nice.
I actually have
Mhm.
that on right now. It's
Uh-huh.
lighting me right now.
Uh-huh.
But I'll have that on until 7:30 and then turn that off. And so because I have that full spectrum light, I can dictate the time I'm turning it off. It's going to be 7:30 regardless of, if it's today or if it was yesterday. So that's one way to gauge it, but you're also kind of extending what your brain thinks is sunlight. And if, the lack of sunlight, there are people that definitely are affected by that. When it gets dark early,
Yeah,
they
I'm
get
feeling
moody,
it.
and like,
Yeah,
remember, like, you can change your environment inside.
that's
Conversely,
true.
don't keep that on too long, because then you're tricking your body into thinking it's day and it's when it's not, and that's going to
Right?
throw
Yeah,
off your sleep.
exactly.
Hey,
Hi,
Aaron.
Aaron. Yeah, same spiel. I'm by a window. That's usually my lighting. So now I'm just this light. I'm like, gosh, it feels so late. I need my tea.
Yeah,
But,
like all of a
it
sudden it's
yeah,
dark and
yeah. But I did get up my usual like it's 6-ish or something. But which was 7-ish, which is good for weekends for me. It's around the same time. But I felt rested. I was like, well, I'm done sleeping, so I'm not gonna make myself stay in the bed longer. Like I
yeah,
just got going. But I'm gonna do
yeah.
that for a while. I do always, well, it's really this time. So everything's okay, but it's getting
I would say
darker earlier.
one thing is like for people with like if they're having problems like getting to sleep, it's like one thing is like maintain the same awake time. Like set an alarm, and if you have to shortchange sleep to be able to get up early on a certain awake time, keep the awake time the same all the time, because
Oh.
the awake time sets the stage for you being more potentially more tired. Like, if like, oh, I'm getting to bed at like 2 a.m.,
Hmm.
and it keeps happening, and I'm waking up at 8. It's like, wake up at 6. Go ahead and purposely shortchange yourself. I mean, I'm not one to talk about like that it's good to shortchange sleep, but this is kind of a good strategy actually to fix that, though.
To get you back
You
on
get to bed
track.
at 2 a.m., do a hard force wake up at whatever time, right? But let's say it's 6 o'clock. Okay, you
Mhm.
slept 4 hours, but you're up at 6 now. Keep yourself up. You're going to be naturally more likely to be tired earlier and kind of break that cycle of being up too late.
Mm.
Like what we do
Mhm.
know about sleep, and this is what's weird is regardless of the time of year and the time changes, like there's something about midnight when they do
Uh-huh.
sleep studies where the sleep before midnight is worth like 1.5 hours up to 2 hours of sleep after midnight. So people
Oh,
that get to bed, if you get to bed at 10 and you sleep till 6, that's 8 hours. That's a more restorative, higher quality 8 hours than midnight to 8. And that comes
I
up
get that.
consistently all the time when they study sleep. So there's something weird
There's
about
something to be said
the
about that.
midnight hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I try to get a good 8 hours, like, even with school, work nights and stuff. So, yeah, if I'm still awake by 10, I'm get a little frustrated, but I start to go down, but my alarm's like 6:15, 6:30 something.
Yeah.
And I'm
And
like, "Oh,
and
yeah,
it
that's
is
8
like
hours. That's good."
women tend to need a little more sleep.
I
But
believe it.
but there's like, so on the shorter end though, like people will be fine with 6.5 hours. Some people need 9.
Mhm.
And there's outliers that need 9.5 and 10.
Mhm.
They tend to be more women that fall in that category, but you know,
Every month, my little teen, she needs that extra sleep. She's got some extra sleep around that
yeah,
cycle.
there's, and so you have to kind of honor that too. Know
Mhm.
like what your sleep style is and what you actually really need for yourself. And we
Mhm.
have those outliers on the other end. They sleep, 4.5 or 5 hours and they're fine.
Uh-huh.
It's very rare though, and it's more rare than people want to admit. There's a lot of people that just insist that they're okay with that little
Yeah,
sleep.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
probably not.
Oh, and Area 51, you're bringing up something that I talk about a lot with my homeschooler pals. My alarms for me when I work, because my routine starts because I'm the alarm for my kids, but most of the time they're usually moving around by then. But yeah, I get a little frustrated with the kids that have the early alarms.
Yeah, and I like
Because
the saying
usually,
alarms are bad about
yeah,
being trained to be obedient. I could see that. I mean, I think
mhm,
what I'm speaking to is a strategy to beat insomnia.
yeah, yeah,
To
yeah,
just
that
reset a
makes
clock,
sense.
to reset your body clock. I mean, ideally, we wake with light and we go to sleep with dark. And I mean, it is pretty interesting when we're around fires. The
Uh-huh.
spectrum of firelight will not disrupt melatonin. Moonlight won't, but blue light will.
Mhm.
So That's interesting. Everything on the planet makes melatonin. I think, except for like bats or fruit flies or something. Um, but yeah. I mean, ideally, it's like the way that and they even have those alarms they're just light. It's not
Yeah,
sound or
yeah.
anything. It's
I
just
like those with the
light that
waterfally.
gradually increases in
Mhm.
the room as if the sun is coming up in your room, which is pretty cool.
That is really cool. I do sleep with the shades so I can get that first bit of light. And now that the change that happened, that's why I got a little louder, but they're little bells. But yeah, my kids still have me going, "Good morning." And then I open the
My
blind.
mom's big thing was rise and shine.
Rise and shine. Aw.
Rise and
I get their
shine. Oh
feet.
God! I
Yeah.
throw my shoe. It's like teenage Lawrence was such a dick.
Well, even when we go to this little learning center, which my daughter, the earliest she has to get up for a high schooler is 7, and that's 2 days a week. And that's to shower and get herself ready to go to a 9 o'clock class. My son, we leave by 8, so I get him up at 7. So he's 7 as well. But they go to bed, they get that good chunk of sleep. I know a big difference though when you have to rush them or not. So giving them a full hour to do their routine. I'm not pushing them to do all these things. They know what they have to get done and they have to get it done a certain time. It starts their flow. They make their bed. They
Yeah,
start their day with a made bed. They have the routine that just gets them focused and on track. And I don't
and
have to
having
say
things
it.
set up, like a lot of things set up the night before, whether it's like clothes ready for the morning and lunch packed and all that stuff, can take away a lot of morning anxiety. That's kind of underappreciated, I think. Like
Yeah.
just kind of making that adjustment
Yeah.
for parents or for adults out there. Like I had to do that, like realizing like my morning would be chaos if I had to, get coffee and pack my lunch and get my clothes ready. It's like I get all that done the night before.
That's
So
smart.
like when I
Yeah.
would come home from work, I'd say,
Mhm.
okay, I'm loading the coffee pot for tomorrow morning. I'm finding my clothes. I'm hanging them, getting them ready. Kind of
I
like then the
never
morning
did that
becomes
before.
completely
Yeah.
completely stress free. Like you wake up in the morning, just the button caught like
You're like, boom. Yeah. I remember you sharing that once. I think we did a whole thing on stress. What's so funny is doing the kids' lunch, even though they're old enough, it's part of my routine. Like it's me doing my robotic movements, packing my own, but theirs. And it's just like it's my part of my wake up.
yeah,
And I actually enjoy it. I'm like, there's not gonna be many more years I'm gonna be able to do this. So I'm gonna do it as much as I can.
embrace it. Yeah, the
Here's
process
your
of
little note.
yeah, the
And I'll
process
sneak
of
you
putting
some
together a
chocolate.
lunch for kids. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's cute. And you know how crazy it's been lately. So, we've got this house thing going on now. It's not as going as fast as I thought it was when I was texting you, so we might be here a little bit more. But the uncertainty, the unknown is at our door, and how we handle it really depicts on how our day is going to be.
Great
So,
possibilities of the unknown.
yes. Oy. Anyway. So that's all the sleep stuff. I had another question. What was my question? Because I'm trying to think. Oh, and I was trying to reference if we had any past episodes on it, but like teen acne. I wondering if you get any clients that struggle with that, and if it's a diet nutrition, it's a gut health, liver, like where do you
Yeah. I
see
mean,
this?
it can be all those things like and as somebody that had teen acne and was and went through everything, I can speak from a personal point of view on it, and then from the side of just sort of like nutrition and whatnot. I mean, from there's a lot of genetics to skin, so that is true. Like tends to that if your parents had acne when they were teenagers, probably more likely to have that. There's that. Um, I will say to start off with, and this comes from my personal anecdotal experience, but has worked like a charm for many, many, many clients, teenagers through the years. So passing this on,
Uh-huh.
the the benzoyl peroxides and the soaps and the cleansers and all of that, get rid of it.
Good.
Okay,
Okay.
what actually worked for me: cold water, nothing else,
Mm,
nothing else.
let
Cold
your
water.
skin like to stop irritating it.
Cold water, not even soap. Now, obviously,
Oh, wow.
the
Okay.
dirt,
Yeah,
dirt,
yeah,
dirt, but like literally just cold water.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Um,
Okay.
there's an acid mantle on the surface of the skin that a lot of these things. I mean, it's sort of like people have probably heard of this with like with Carmex.
Uh-huh. You
Like you
use it
put
after
that on, and
treatment?
then you just need it all the time.
Yeah. I
you know,
remember
and you put like benzoyl peroxide, it might dry up the area, it might do a little bit on the sebaceous gland, but then it just everything just roars back, and you're kind of addicted to it. The Clearasil, the benzoyl peroxides, the pads,
that. Uh-huh.
you kind of disrupting things, aggravating. So literally, just calm everything down. That worked perfectly for me. I mean, I was just, and then probably within 2 or 3 weeks,
Wow.
almost perfectly clear.
Isn't that
And I
funny?
couldn't
And then
believe it because
they'll
I
start
use
selling.
the
Yeah,
soap
they
and the
sell.
Neutrogena
It's
and
a
the
huge
Clears.
thing. Yeah. Huge,
So
huge
so
thing.
that being said, from the inside out approach, I mean, from a holistic nutrition, like we look at skin as we kind of look at liver first a lot with skin.
Okay.
So you
What is
kind of want to
liver?
check in
Okay.
on that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, just in general, it's always going to come down to elimination of processed foods and junk and additives and this, like, that's always going to be like 100% a great place to start. Whole foods, real foods. Um, yes, gut health can all be an issue, but that's also resolved with that, right? Nature heals. It's like put real food in, and the body just sort of does what it's going to do. You're going to get the right components for gut health and whatnot. Now, for sort of liver detoxification, you kind of play that case to case. I mean, you don't need to be doing like hardcore liver detoxes, but things like dandelion root tea and milk thistle can be good, and safely used even by teenagers
Mm-hmm.
for assistance with the liver.
Nice.
And yeah, and then people will sometimes report anecdotally, but pretty strongly anecdotally, it's with chocolate. You hear about that, but there's some truth to it. Dairy can be a big culprit.
Mm.
Dairy is definitely
Mhm.
implicated in sebaceous gland activity. I am not a fan of um, things like Accutane and these sort of things that kind of naturally,
Yeah.
yeah,
I was a guinea pig for that in the 90s. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
shrink up sebaceous, over dry things, and then then again, yeah, and then you're gonna have dry eyes. You got to do eye drops and lip
Steroid. I
balms,
blew
and
up. I totally
yeah.
blew up.
So
Mhm.
those are things. But yeah, I mean, cold water. I know it's just like the most
Isn't that it's
like
the most simple thing, but it usually is, right? Because it can't mix anything
honestly.
on it.
And then looking at also in the filter in the shower,
Uh-huh.
if chlorinated water, right? So get chlorine filter in the shower head. Um, one thing, when chlorinated water is heated in a hot shower, you're breathing in chlorine. It's
Oh,
irritating not only
yeah.
your lungs, but and chlorine is very irritating to the skin. When you irritate the skin like that, and then the body wants to like overproduce oils.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have T-zone acne. Some people have acne in other spots. It depends on if it's a female or male. If there is suspected, even early on in a teenager, like something like PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, like those things are, there's hormonal nature to that as well. So you'd have to kind of case by case it as well. Insulin resistance drives a lot of that. So things like sugars, refined sugars, keeping that in check. Again, it always comes back to just, you know,
It's
eat
always back to
simple,
the
real.
basics,
It's
right?
like the simple thing, that's a simple answer is like
51's your
usually
fan.
the best.
Love
Thank
this
you.
guy. Lawrence, yes, yes.
Yeah, it's kind of like the thing that's the star is is your body. Like it's like, what does the body
This
want,
is
and then it kind of takes
yeah.
care of the rest.
And the systems that are there in place are meant to filter and clean and
Yeah,
regenerate, and if they get all bogged
I
up.
mean, there are so many. You just walk into stores and there's just like 700 different products, and even if it's just like
Yeah.
not even for your body or healthcare, but like cleaning household products around your house, like I used to have a lemon tree, and I would just go out, grab a lemon, cut it in half, and like scrub my, shower
And it
tiles.
worked. Yeah. It saves
Like,
so much
like
money,
literally, like
right?
cleans it like grease. It's like done,
Wow.
done. You don't need all
Yeah,
these.
yeah.
Like, it's just it tends to be overkill in all these things that we're kind of led to believe that we need 10 different products to fix something that
Mhm.
our body already knows how to fix.
Oh, I feel like I'm moving the giant to that side.
Yeah.
You
Well, he's been
he's
doing great.
he's
You
been
seem
doing
like he's
great. He's dropped like 35, maybe
yeah.
40 pounds, and that's watching the sugar. It's the main bit. He's moving around more. I know he's getting a lot of physical therapy. He's getting himself, in check. He did have to get an MRI, so he's got that bulge disc that they're working on and
Yeah, it's gonna be
working out.
tough.
It's a tough one. So, but he's coming more out of pain. Now, our little holistic guy that we go to all the time did tell him to go ahead and get this test of a nerve blocker. I don't know if you've ever heard of these, not like an epidural, but they're
Nerve
looking for
conduction usually.
something. They're looking for it so that they can cauterize it. Is that the right word? Is that
Well, yeah, I don't know. It's case to
okay?
case, and it's
Yeah.
not like my area of
Yeah, I know.
expertise. But you have nerve conduction is, because innervation, right? Sort of the nervous signal from the spine, everything kind of, and there's innervation. There's a track, so right. So like the ulnar nerve, like I have a kind of a mildly pinched ulnar nerve, and so my pinky finger is slightly tingly all the time, and I've
Oh,
opted to not
okay.
do any kind of surgical intervention on it. But if there's compression at anywhere, they're going to track that. Sciatica is a famous one, like that's
Okay.
where it's stemming down, and the lower it is to the ankle, people feel pain radiating all the way down to the ankle, and it's like that. Then there's probably a greater pressure exerted on the sciatic nerve.
Mm, mm,
So that's what, and then so they can do nerve conduction based on the signal. They can identify where there's blockages, and
mhm.
then they kind of go from there. It could be pretty challenging to sort
Yeah,
that out, but
yeah.
I would look into maybe inversion, but mild, like on a table, like starting off at a 15 or 25 degree, where there's a
Mhm,
bit of pull,
mhm.
and that can often pull the vertebrae apart and get a little moisture and get that disc to slide back in. Sometimes it happens actually on the first try.
Nice.
Many
Okay.
years ago, I worked at Tarzana at Relax the Back. We had
Yeah.
inversion tables there, and I have customers come in with horrible back issues, and they're seeing specialists and all this, and I got them on the table just to demo it, and
Uh-huh.
it did fix them. Like they'd be like,
Oh.
oh, they'd be like 30 seconds. You're like, oh, I'm fine.
I love that you
And
had that there. Was that your doing or did they do that?
we
That
we
Relax Your Back did that?
we had it there,
Wow,
so
that's so
we sold the
smart.
tables, and I have a
Oh,
table, and we can go out there, and
okay.
I'll go
Right.
all the
So
way
you
upside
sell I
down.
keep thinking it's a mattress store. No, it's a everything back store. That's
It's back, so ergonomic,
okay.
equipment. So
Duh.
we
Yeah,
had
yeah.
office chairs and cushions and pillows
That's
and beds and
awesome. Yeah, I
massage
just,
chairs.
just circling back to how I think both you and I have done this. We've usually most of the stuff we've ever done for a job is based on what our likes are. Like we
Hmm.
were always surrounded and chose to work around environments that were conducive
Yeah.
to what we like. So I always feel weird when I see people like, oh, I got to go to my cubicle. I'm like, why? There's so many other jobs out there. But then I see my giant waiting for work. Good, Area 51. I'm glad you do. Thank you. Thank you for chiming in there and helping with that little algorithm too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the back stuff's so important though, right? Because it extends to absolutely everything.
It's huge. So like the spinal cord is like the communication, hub. And we always just think of it in terms of like pain and back, and like kind of how the way people look at back issues, but it can become an organ issue. There's communication going through to all of or like to everything,
Mm-hmm.
to the lungs, to the heart, to the kidneys, to the liver. So a good nervous system so good posture, good spine health. The physical therapist I work for used to really talk a lot about posture, and he would say one simple move was standing up against a flat wall for a minute every day, getting his heels up against the wall, getting the back of his head to the wall. The
Mm-hmm.
thoracic spine, the upper part of the spine, they get that kind of
The
slouch.
hunchback. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And, he used to say, like, the more you're, kind of looking at your grave,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
slouching over, like being in that upright, open posture, you breathe better,
Yeah.
head up, shoulders
Yeah.
back, open heart, kind of heart to the world sort of thing.
Yeah.
Not the defeated
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love how you
pose.
worded that. I'm going to
Our
share that with
hormones, even
the
they did like the lobster thing. If anyone
eat it.
follows like Jordan Peterson, he used to talk about this, but lobsters, but like lobsters will fight, and like the victorious lobster will kind of like stretch out, and the defeated lobster will kind of curl up. And it turns out like these gazillion-year-old, creatures, these lobsters, they share similar pathways like serotonin and these things, and it kind of maps out to human beings where there is that kind of like when people say I'm posturing, but like that confidence, but you can almost change measurable hormone levels in your body
Mm.
by just exerting. And in some ways it's fake it till you make it, where, used to call it power posing. That was kind of a big thing about a decade ago, the power pose.
Uh-huh.
But there's some truth to that, because this does signify kind of defeat, protecting.
Really
We're
does.
the only we're mammals that walk upright. Our bellies are exposed, our front's exposed. We're not like on four legs where that's protected. So we're kind of like out here in the world, like getting after it. So
Yeah.
it is an interesting thing to think about. And when we get scared, we're protecting. And this kind
Protecting our
of
heart.
represents, there's a representation of what posture is too, to like
Wow.
inform like our
I didn't think of that.
confidence, even
Yeah.
subconsciously.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like the physical part of it, just good spinal health, and how that informs like the overall health of our body. Like everything is talking to each other better. And that's really what health is. It's this integration of systems,
Mm-hmm.
nervous system, respiratory system, cardiovascular system, endocrine system. Like all these systems work
Mm-hmm.
together. And
Mm-hmm.
when things are broken, there's kinks in the hose and cramps in the cords. Things aren't going to work right.
Hmm. Oh my gosh. I'm also thinking of my mom. I just started thinking about her because got these some videos of her this summer where we were like seeing her and she's fit. She's healthy. She was hiking in the Alps last Christmas. Like she's fit, but she's been protecting her heart and she is
Mm-hmm.
crumpling over her chest and her heart really very much. And I think that's
Yeah.
literally shaping her back. I didn't even think of it that way.
Yeah. It's,
Yeah.
it's pretty fascinating stuff, body
Very
language
well
and,
put. Hmm.
and what it's saying about our internal state.
Yes.
And then how there's that feedback loop, like where can you know, I want to say it was like, I got a pencil here. There was an experiment. It was like,
I do that under my
where
boob.
people like, had to do certain things with the holding a pencil, like, a certain way.
Uh-huh. I
Yeah.
had a big
And
pen.
like, and like doing that will like physiologically change you, like the way that you're like,
Your jaw, myofascial almost. Mm-hmm.
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 Right. And just like, if you just sat here now, if you aren't smiling out there, just smile. Like you
It's
almost like
take your
can't
time. Yeah.
like you could be in a bad mood, but if you
Yeah.
just, there's something's happening. Like you could feel, you're like, even if you're like, I know I'm not happy, but I'm smiling. Something's happening.
It's still creating some sort of chemical reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're doing this happy thing, right? Like, okay.
Oh, all this
So,
stuff is so awesome as a teacher. Like I'm going to use that, be feeling defeated and feeling, because we're getting into ancient civilization soon. But here's
mhm,
what I wanted to tell you. You're going to love this. What I added to my morning routine. I do a lot of crossing the midline exercises, with the
mm,
kids just to line them up so they can get ready to learn. Helps with some of those kids that would be considered either spectrum or AD8, whatever they call them. We don't
right.
call them anything. We just cross the midline exercises. But I'm doing this whole little new thing, thanks TikTok, little ancient Chinese lymphatic open, like we're opening
Mm,
with the swings and
yeah.
then the opening out and then the trunk twist and the
Yeah.
like we're doing the torso twist, a little bit of qigong mixed with the Chinese old ancient little routine that
Tai
we
Chi
do.
and like
The
the whole thing.
lymphatic,
Yeah.
the hops, just drain the system. And I tell you, I just have them out back for like 15 minutes doing all these things. And then we go in and they're at their desk like, whoo, like, let's do it. What are we doing? It's really aligns a kid.
Those kind of moves are useful to carry through life. There's, with the lymphatic system, lymphatic fluid doesn't have a pump the way blood has a pump, right? Our heart.
Mhm.
Some people even question if it's a pump. That's a whole other cool side quest we can go on one day. It's like that the heart is a vortex. It's actually not like a pump. Anyway. But you know the point.
Uh-huh.
Lymphatic fluid, there's no pump. And so movement is the pump. And so those kind of movements you described are great. I'm a big fan of rebounding,
Mhm.
Jumping on a mini trampoline is a fantastic way for moving lymph fluid. Lymphatic massage, people have probably heard about. Yeah, just good old fashioned moving. It's, people forget about it.
Yeah.
Good, because a lot of it is like, especially I think it's like a Western thing of like health club culture, gym culture, workout culture. this idea of compressing certain things into a time window. Like I'm doing working out now, I'm rather than kind of like having a day-to-day life that's built in with activity and movement through the day, which we've seen is way, way healthier, because even going to the gym, which is great, it will not undo 8 hours of sitting at a desk. They've shown that. They
Mm.
call sitting the new smoking.
Mm.
And people that go to the gym, it's not enough to undo it. So
Mm.
things like standing desk, we've talked about, getting up and moving with more regularity, little mini bouts of quote unquote exercise or movement become more important than this standalone event. I'm not saying don't do those, like do a class, go to the gym. There's a community aspect to it that's important, but it's not, through human history, it's like we're workers. Like the fitness part's just built into living life, lifting, carrying things, hunting, gathering, whatever, building.
Mhm.
That's how we're meant to use our body throughout the day, and in pulses, not just kind of like sitting all day and then doing something. And that's like
Mhm.
how, like, the classic thing, like you blow out your hamstring at the weekend family softball game because you don't do anything all week.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
first attempt at trying to run, your hamstring's cooked.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Oh, you
little,
all
movement
those
and
little things.
stretching and
You
just
gotta
hanging
teach
from a
them
bar
young.
and like,
Yeah, you gotta teach them young with that, really to embed it, right? And teach them it's good to be moving around. You'd be so proud because I had a good, proud mama bear slash teacher bear moment watching recess where every kid is fully engaged, like
mhm,
zipping around, tag, all the old school stuff. They're running and they're fit. Even the kid that came to us from public, who has a sedentary lifestyle and a sedentary family, he wants to keep up with the class, keep up with his friends,
yeah,
and he's getting stronger and stronger and surprising himself. He ran his first relay with us, and it
that
was
is
really,
such a cool
really
thing
cool
to
to see.
watch. I mean, when I
Hmm.
was doing all this stuff with Operation Tone Up, isn't it amazing to see? We'd see kids that could only do one push up, and 8 weeks later they're doing 30. And
It's awesome.
a few years back we had a girl do 90. And I'm saying that because it's like upper body strength's pretty impressive for
Whoa.
females. And
Hmm.
she won the push up challenge at the Fit of School
Oh
event,
my
and
gosh,
she
that's
did 90
amazing.
push ups. And she did like 90 push, like not like girl push up, on your
Right,
knees, like
right.
push ups.
Like full toe, full chest.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, good for her. Dang. What did they need? Hey, the secret is to having fun, right? Like that's what I remember
Yeah. I
Operation
think
Tone Up too, and you doing it was teaching
like
them.
having fun. I mean, the music was very important with our program, but
Go,
like,
Aaron.
also though, that they are, it's okay, like that there's challenge too, like that it's like hard can be fun.
Hmm.
I mean, in fact, I think people are underestimate children when it comes to like they kind of, challenge is important. Like
Hmm.
the you can do better is okay. It's like we kind of went for a while in our culture. I think it's changing where it's like, oh, you good try, like,
Hmm.
but that's probably the best you can do, but that's okay. Like kids don't want to hear that. That's kind of defeating. Like, oh, I did the best I could and this is it.
They want
We're
a
like,
challenge.
there's
Yeah.
kind of like a thing to pushing yourself, and it's
Yeah.
okay for it to be hard and to run into trouble, and like, how do you get through it, and how do you build resilience, and what is it like to, like, overcome a challenge? Like that's actually a really important underrated thing.
Hmm.
Like, you can be better gives them that thing of like, I can, oh, cool, good. And a lot of it is asking them, and to frame that, a lot of it is, what have you had a hard time with before?
Yeah.
Tell me something that you couldn't do and that now you're really good at. So then you set that frame and they go, oh, wait, well, every kid has one, and it's called reading. You can, oh, if they can't think of one, you can always remind them, reading.
Yeah.
You
He learned
couldn't
how to
read?
read.
Oh, yeah, because that's, we all, right?
Hmm.
And now they can read. And it's like, how you couldn't read, and then now you can. And that's all it takes. It's like, you can't, okay, maybe you can't do 5 push-ups, but why would you be, and let them know, like, why would you be able to if you don't do, like, so that way they understand it's like, it's not their fault that they can't do this, it's just they haven't practiced them,
Yeah. Oh, that's sweet. That's
you know?
total. That's it. Empowerment. It's all our empowerment stuff. Yeah.
It's yeah, and like it feels good to be on that
Layering.
level of like where it's difficult and
Yes.
you kind of need to just go a little bit hard. Like that's a fun, that can be fun. That's like the problem is associating something like that with, oh, that's hard and that means it's not fun.
Right, right. But it could
Well,
still be a
fun is a
challenge.
challenge.
Yeah.
That's
Hi,
why
Mrs.
sports are fun.
TKV.
Like
Hi,
trying to
Tina.
win, is fun.
You know what I did learn recently through this class I have and stuff? I did learn that with this philosophies that I'm studying, Steiner stuff, that competitive sports, they really aren't intended for these early ages. I don't know what you think about this. Their thought process is around the 5th grade to start doing. That's why the pentathlon's introduced, and like ancient civilizations I'm doing, the Greek games, because they're competing against themselves. They're competing how they can improve what they're doing, and then comes like wrestling and all these competitive sports, but they're
I
saying to
think
hold off on competitiveness. What do you think?
I think that there's the word competitive can be interpreted different ways, right? There's natural things children do to test each other.
Mm-hmm.
And rough house play with parents and children is also included in that, where, and that kind of tendency for kids maybe to quote unquote be mean or whatever that might be. But there's like shit testing that goes on. There's physical things, wrestling, play wrestling. Children, in that same respect, it's like learning, where there's a difference between like saying, okay, we're going to give you things to study and test you at like 5 years old, which is ridiculous, right? What they learned in Finland was, if you hold off on that till 7, what you're allowing the children to do is have a natural curiosity for things and then kind of interact with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Within that, there's going to be things that are kind of, we could actually label competition, where, they are kind of testing each other through a lot of games that they come up with on their own. I mean, we've all seen this. Mm-hmm. So what I would say is there's formal competitive games, but there is an underlying competitive where it's because it's like my opponent makes me better. That's the philosophy that I would adhere to. It's like, I need to know how good I can be, but I can only know that if you test me. I can't actually be the best version of myself if I don't have a challenge. There's no virtue to it. Like a man that stays faithful to his wife that has never had a single temptation, how virtuous is it, right? What's virtuous is like if you're surrounded by beautiful women and you could have them whenever you want, but you decide to be faithful, then you have virtue. Because the virtue requires the temptation. And like greatness, you should just be like, oh, I'm great based on what? Mm-hmm. And it's like, if you're trying to outmatch yourself, well, how do you find that? I mean, we grew up with Michael Jordan, right? Like his big thing was, I want to play the best of the best because I need to, for me to like be a better player. How can I find out? It's no fun to just beat up a weakling.
Yeah. That's a good meme. Yeah, about surrounding yourself with the challenge.
I think that there's probably some truth to like, I mean, what is damaging, I think, is where in this world of competition, which muddies the water from the research side of these things that they look at, is like the parents. Because in these worlds of organized sports, especially nowadays, I would say what's very unique about nowadays is their specialization. So they get kids and they're like, you're going to be a major league pitcher. And you're like, kids like 7, 8 years old.
Oh my gosh.
And they, instead of like some of the world's greatest athletes just grew up playing on the playground and they played like 7 sports, right? Mm-hmm. And they ran track and they played baseball and basketball and football and soccer and like, they weren't totally told to specialize. And the irony of it is that some of these great athletes that become specialists always have a background in multiple sports. But the world of organized children's sports is predatory in the aspect of like, there's so much money in specialization and training and the high ends. And this also goes into demographics and what sports, how much it costs, it's expensive.
Yeah.
And we lose certain demographics. We've lost them along the way because of that at the young age.
Yeah.
And an obvious example would be like something like golf. Obviously, it's like you need a golf course. You need to quit. Like,
yeah, it's all an investment there.
But if you think of basketball, you can just walk out to your driveway and kind of practice it on your own.
Yeah, I love it because really in summary, all that you're saying still, even if it's organized or not, it's still empowerment to challenge yourself,
I think there has to be
up
some
level
element
every
to that.
time.
On
Yeah,
some
not
level,
necessarily others, but yourself.
human beings need uh, a survival of they need we need pressure, something.
Yeah, and that's okay.
You know,
Yeah,
we
done
need
are the trophies for you get a ribbon and you get a
positive stress. I mean, it's just part of the species.
yeah, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah,
It just is. I
that's
mean,
so perfect. That's so well rounded with all that, man.
yeah,
The
there's just a
sport.
lot of things I think to unpack with that topic alone, because I don't
Uh-huh.
think it's cut straightforward of like how to know, like, what do we mean by competition? What are we talking about?
Yeah, this
How
is a
is this
lot of
set up?
different things.
What's the
Do you
environment like?
Yeah, because like the grades that play on this big field, it would be considered like third to seventh, and even kickball got heated, and it got to this point where you could see people like, wait, what happened to just tag? Like they wound up being more physical and more high vibratory than when they were not playing something organized
Right.
like that. When it was like an even playing field, like everyone just tag, or everyone do this double dutch, or everyone do this. I mean, capture the flags working, but soccer had to go because you saw the kids that it was their specialty. They were invested in, and they're
Right.
the only ones working, the only ones into it, and the other ones are just
Right.
kind of standing around. That it's like, wait, this doesn't seem very balanced. We want everyone to play. So then
Yeah.
we're like kickball, and then we're like, wait a second,
It's kind
something's
of
going.
like the difference is there sort of like the difference between activity, exercise, and training, right? So
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
activity is you're getting your heart up.
Uh-huh.
Exercise is you kind of, activity is like the normal stuff you do, like, going for a walk or whatever. People get mad at me because I don't consider it exercise. It's like I don't mean cannot be a form, but for the sake of compartmentalizing, walking is just what you should do.
Everyone should
It's
do
kind of
that.
like when Chris Rock he had that bit about like where the guy's like, I take care of my kids, and Chris Rock's like, you're supposed to take care of your kids. Like it's what you're supposed to do. Like,
Do
don't
that.
don't
It's not a
brag
feat.
about something. You're supposed to do that. Like,
Yeah.
dude, like so for me, it's like, yeah, you're supposed to walk.
Yeah.
So that I call that activity. Exercise is like, oh, you get your heart up, you might do some jogging, but you're not really measuring it.
Mhm.
Training, you're measuring. Like you're
Okay. Yeah,
going,
yeah, that
okay,
makes sense.
I want to do 100-meter sprints in this time next time, or I did 5 sprints this time, I'm going to do 6 next time. Like that's training.
That makes
Exercise, you
sense.
could go, I'm going to
Mhm.
do 10 sprints every time. I'm just going to kind of get it in, get the heart up, and that's all good. 20 minutes on the treadmill, that's all good. Training is like I'm trying to quantify, measure, improve.
Mhm.
So there's
Mhm.
levels to it. And like
Mhm.
with play, there's like, because kids will naturally come up with rules.
Yeah, yeah,
You've noticed
that's a
that. They'll
good
be like,
thing
if
too.
I touch the thing there,
Yeah.
you turn into a bat and I'm a frog now and I jump over that log and that's worth 10 points. Like they'll just come up with it on their own. You've
Which
all
is
seen this.
beautiful. Yeah.
It's beautiful. But so there's that. Yeah. And then there's kind of levels to it where it gets into like, now we're keeping score and now there's a win. Like, there's time and place for that.
Yeah, yeah.
But I
And
think it's okay
uh-huh.
for kids to be completely shattered by losing a little league game. Like I
Yes,
don't think you should
I
just get
know.
wrecked. Like you
I
need like
know.
I've got wrecked so many times in baseball. Where I just crying on the way home. My dad's like, "Yeah, that's hard, huh?"
But see,
Okay,
that
like
was
you
my
just
next
just get
bit.
destroyed. Like it's
Yeah.
okay.
But you had a dad that was like, yeah,
It's
it's
okay to
tough,
be
right?
crushed.
Instead of the dad being so crushed that you
Like
feel
just be
shamed.
crushed. Like
Yeah,
you
just
have to
that
have like
sucks.
disappointments. It's the idea that you're going to avoid it. Like life's going to give you that. Like
Mhm.
that's not going to feel good. It's not
Yeah.
supposed to, and it's not the end of the world. It's like it's baseball. We'll go have a hot fudge sundae. Let's talk about it. But like, yeah, it's okay. Like there could be winners and losers. It's okay.
Yeah.
They're happy now. Like try harder next year. Like it doesn't have to be your whole life, but what's wrong with like just like get destroyed,
Yeah.
feel bad,
Win.
cry, like
Yeah. Win
be
some, lose
completely
some.
white, like just get wiped out. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, man. My
It's a
all my friends
mentality of
are
the
still my
parents.
friends from grade school are still all my friends. We all played baseball. We're all just like, dude, we just like, oh my god, you remember that time? It's like, yeah, it was horrible. Got just destroyed. Like
You learned something from
it's
it. You
funny.
channeled some. Yeah, you
I don't
learned
know.
from
Like
that.
it didn't like break my soul. It was just like,
Yeah. I bet it depicted too how the coaches handled and the adults handled, because I have been gutted seeing some reactions by some parents that just
Yeah,
turn it around. It's like, please, you are not teaching the teachable moment right now. You're making it about
yeah.
you.
You'd be like,
And Aaron, that was brilliant. Thank you.
exactly, where they turn
Hi,
it into this
Daryl.
whole thing around themselves, and
Yeah.
then it's just like, we're not. What are we doing right now?
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
putting effort in though. The main takeaway though is effort is very satisfying to the human soul.
Yeah.
So whatever that means, it's some form of way of reminding us of progress.
Yes. Yes. That goes back to acting days in Chicago or just growing up with it. I really thank my parents because I was always taught, I don't know, rejection was always an easy thing for me. It was like, oh, that wasn't meant for me. Like something else will come. Whereas it was a good practice because I could take it into all avenues of my life, interviews for jobs, things that come and go, detachment. It was this that came from my parents of being like, it's okay. It's if it does, don't, not to force it, but you're doing your absolute best. Did you do your absolute best? You did your absolute best. Great. Well, wasn't meant for you. Like just it didn't happen. Doesn't mean you're gonna get it because you do your
Because
absolute best.
it's the thing of like we're like lying to kids like about
Right. And they know.
expectations of like, it's like, yeah,
Hi, Daryl.
this might not be good.
Might not be good.
This
Yep.
might not work. It might
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. Yeah.
It might not. Guess
And
what? It
and
might
it's
not,
okay.
because a lot of things in life are going to be like that. You give it your all and it just doesn't work.
Yes. Oh, yes. Well, I know we're
Like the
winding.
Blue Jays.
Of Toronto.
Man, they did about everything they could, and
Aw. Oh, my little
some
buddy
dumb luck.
tomorrow morning. I've got to think of him because he was going to root for them. We had two kids in class. One was
Yeah.
Dodger, one was a Blue Jay that they were voting for. And I'm like, I know why you like the Blue Jays. He just likes to be the rebel. Like
Oh,
again,
I mean, yeah, sure. I mean,
I love
look,
it.
we're
Healthy.
like the evil empire, the $1 billion evil empire Dodgers. That's what it is. That's okay.
Yeah, that's
That's okay.
okay. Well, they're
If
gonna love it
if your
though.
favorite team had that $1 billion lineup, you'd be happy too. So
You'd be
the
happy.
world is not, things are not fair always.
Yeah. They're
This is
they're gonna
not.
be giddy that I'll know. I'll be like, "What? How about I'll put a win on the board or Dodger. I'll make some emblem. I'll do the LA thing. Something they'll be like, "Oh, Miss Heidi knows." Anyway, we are doing a wind down here. I'm
Yeah.
so grateful because I love how it just flows and we just cover what we need to cover when we need to cover it. Yeah, it's pitch black out. Usually this is when the sun was setting. So
Yeah.
getting used to those time stage changes. So just to reiterate, because of this time change, you're saying the clock says this now, so stay on track of what you were doing.
Just stay on track,
Yeah.
and be
Oh,
mindful
thanks.
of
There's
your
Blazer. Hi. I bet
requirements. Be the glitch.
Midwest is done there. Hi, Blazer. Good to see you. Be the glitch. Absolutely. Um, yeah. So I'm
I got
sorry. You were saying,
my resting glitch face.
and you were saying, stay on the track.
Was that a good resting
That was
glitch
a
face?
resting glitch phase. Yeah, that
Do I look like that one emoji, the raised eyebrow emoji?
kind of like a weird puppet. You look like oh, that's awesome. Oh, you're oh,
But yeah,
Daryl, you guys are funny.
it's we're in the season of we're coming into coming into your season.
Yes. So that was a question I was going to ask you. Yeah, a couple weeks, 2.5 weeks till I'm 51. Where's Area 51? He's gone.
Area
I'm gonna be
51.
I'm gonna be 51, and yeah, and you're in 51 now.
I'm in
So
51,
yeah, I
and
finished. I'm
it's
finishing off my
feels good.
50. Feels good, right? It's like you pass that 50th year. You're fully in. You no longer say I'm 50. You're
Yeah,
just like I'm in my 50s.
it's like in my 50s now. I can just kind of legitimately say in my 50s,
Yeah,
and I feel good.
I did have a talk with a mom because she remembered my birthday last year, but she's turning 40 soon, and she just kept asking questions and like I don't get it because she talked to me up close, and I go I'll tell you it's my little bits, and it could come from whatever it comes from, but I noticed a big difference with the sleep, the hydration, and the vibes. You know,
Hmm.
bad mood or good mood. That's what changes everything. And
It
sleep is
does.
a big one.
I mean, what's kind of fascinating is even couples that are with each other for many years start to look like each other, and and the expressions that we keep on our face start to etch into, our countenance.
Uh-huh.
That happy kind of glow that you can feel from people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's it is an internal thing, where gratitude. Yes, I'm 15 with dyslexia.
Hilarious.
Gratitude is one of my things. I think that of all of those, of all the character, I'm good at gratitude. I will say I'm really good at it, and it's something you can control. Like,
Yeah.
being grateful for. There's always a what I have thing. There's
Yeah.
something, and whether it's just the air in your lungs, it's gratitude to be an expert at that. And I think a lot of other stuff, just good stuff, comes from that place. It's a really beautiful place to stay in and start from.
Mm-hmm.
And even I, though, will, sometimes stray. It's like you feel a little like, like you're not catching a break or whatever. And get back. The quicker
Back
you
to
can get back.
gratitude. Yeah.
Gratitude. Wait a
Like when
minute.
you
What
were
am I really
saying, like,
complaining about? Hold on.
yeah, yeah. Like when you said about just smile. Just smile.
Just
It
do it.
will
Like
change
sometimes
it.
it's just,
One gratitude blast and it will like course
yeah.
correct you.
I do
Really
my
good way to fall asleep too.
check-in
Hi,
of
Poncho.
looking
Mm-hmm.
around my surroundings and realizing all of the efforts of humanity, really, that brings us here. Look, I'm holding a pencil. I've mentioned this before. I pencil. Go look up the essay I pencil. You can go on YouTube. What it takes to make a single pencil. How many people, thousands and thousands of people, are needed to give you a pencil? And when you think about that and how many more items and what we have in the world, it's like way more complex than a pencil. The world is working for all of us. We're all collectively building this.
Mm.
It's easy to take for granted this world we walk through. So
Mm.
grateful, like, hey, I get a pencils, like thousands of people like took part
We should
in
be so
making it.
lucky.
It's
Yeah.
really, it's astonishing. I didn't need to make this. I wouldn't be able to make this on my own. I wouldn't.
Aw. I get it.
Not
Do you know what's been
100%
humbling
from
me?
scratch. Like, no, you have to go to the forest and get the wood, like
Mm-hmm.
the rubber, no.
Like, I'll take it as is. But what's been really humbling, I know we're still closing, but this has been actually calming to me when I want to just zone out to a YouTube video. I've been finding these old, like late 1700s, 1800s, little homesteads, like recipes, but they reenact them. So they got the old crock pots.
Oh,
They're
cool.
literally doing step by step, grinding the flour, churning the butter, like everything gets added and you get bread. But they did that every meal and every day. And it's just like relaxing to watch. But also, wow, I kept thinking, living in that moment. There's no phone dinging. There's no alarm going off. You're
Mm-hmm.
up with the sun. You're down with the sun. And you're doing all the things one at a time. And man, just a gentle reminder. Yeah.
Yes.
Slow down, everybody. Slow down.
I mean, look at this right now. Let's close this up. I would say, Heidi,
Yeah.
this is like the Jetsons.
Yes. I know like what we're doing.
The Jetsons.
Uh-huh.
When we were kids, I mean, they're like, meet George Jetson.
I love the Jetsons. Yeah.
Like,
And we're doing
this
it.
is insane.
Yeah.
Talking to each other right now.
Yes.
So,
And talking to Montana and talking to all our pals across there. Yeah. We're talking from all over. Yes, this is pretty cool. So I am very grateful. And Lawrence, I'm very grateful to you. And circling back, happy 25th anniversary of LA. We've been to
yes.
LA 25
Happy
years
25.
ago today. Lawrence and I were like, fuck it, let's go. And we
We're
drove
out.
today from Chicago before the winter hit to get here. And
We're at
best
about the
choice
halfway
ever
point.
made. Yeah.
It's pretty cool because like half of our life,
Half of our
you know,
life was here on our own, following our bliss and doing jobs that made us happy and formulating our careers. Yeah. So way
where's
to go.
Bo?
I know. Bobo, he's not even down here. He's not, his hearing's kind of going a little bit.
He's usually closing the show. But
He's
it's
usually
okay.
closing us. Yeah. Thanks, Aaron. Peace in.
Thanks to everybody that's tuning in. And thank you, Aaron. And I love the kind of convo. Yes, video calls, man.
Teeth
Teeth
marks on my
markings on my
pencils.
pencils. Oh my God, so
all
did I.
these things. His boy,
Jane,
Elroy.
his wife, his boy Elroy. I love that we got the
They
lyrics
all
are
know
coming
it.
in.
Yes,
Oh
they
yeah.
all know it. Yeah, thank you, Lawrence. And we'll definitely try again. I'm not Still here, still in Cali, still West Coast. So we'll figure it out.
Mhm.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you very, very soon. Thanks for chiming
Okay.
in. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share with some peeps and boost these algorithms. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
Bye.